Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I have to sing the song this way so I don't get a copyright strike. Bum 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 bum. Welcome to the Fantasy Football News. I am your host, Eric, and it is an absolute honor to be here today to give you all the scores and highlights from the action in the Columbia River and Outcast leagues. Thank you once again for joining me. We will get to the matches in just a moment after this short message from the Columbia River Fantasy Football League Commissioner. Hello, everybody. Hey there, CRFFL Owners Commissioner Eric here, and it is time to talk about that unpleasant subject, money. As you should all be aware, your league dues of $55 are due in no later than the end of regulation play on this upcoming Monday night game. Any teams not paid in full by that time will have scores adjusted to zero and no wins counted until such time as their dues are paid. Dues can be paid to either myself or Co-Commissioner Frazier. We both accept cash, Venmo, and Cash App. I will also accept PayPal or Meta/Facebook Pay. I will be sending out a reminder email to all league owners that will also contain the account information for those apps for each of us. Please remit payment as soon as possible to avoid any unnecessary pleasantness. I now return you to your regularly scheduled fantasy football news. All right. Thank you for that, Commissioner Eric. And we start this week out in the Columbia River League, and I'm going to start actually real quick by saying that because everything seems to happen on a Wednesday around here, I am having some work done. We're getting a new roof put on the house, so you may hear some banging and stomping around up there. I apologize for that, but that's just the way it works anyways. We start out this week in the Columbia River League, where the weekly contest was Too Close to Call week, with the team winning by the narrowest margin, taking home the prize. Surprise! Mike wins again, with Stars and Stripes defeating the Art of Dual Threat by just 6.1 points in a week that saw no other matches closer than 49 points, and two matches with a more than 110-point differential. This win by Mike means that nobody claims the $10 Commissioner's Bounty this week, and so it will carry over to next week to possibly be paid to any other owner that can end Mike's now 3-game winning streak, and it's also his 4th win overall. If you all remember, the Week 2 contest was originally scheduled to be Century Week, but at that time the decision was made to move the contest to Week 9, where we would have a better idea of what average scoring looked like. Week 9 is upon us, and so the contest will be Bicentennial Week, with the team scoring closest to 200, over or under, being the winner. In the event of a tie, QB score closest to 40 among those tied teams will be declared the victor. On to the scores. Our first match this week is My Purdy team versus Sweet Nuts. My Purdy team was number 2 in the standings heading into Week 8 and was looking to remain there, or possibly move up to number 1 with a win and a Stars and Stripes loss. Unfortunately, my Purdy team gets neither of those outcomes and instead falls 3 spots in the standings down to 5th. My Purdy team did manage a league-high 99% efficiency rating this week, leaving just 1.85 points on the bench. Sweet Nuts was able to grab the win in this one despite a lackluster performance from Pat Mahomes, thanks in large part to DeAndre Hopkins and Gus Edwards, who combined for 69.5 points. Sweet Nuts wins this one 204.15 to 187.85. Next up for Sweet Nuts is Killa MC. My Purdy team looks to rebound against the Short Bus Superstars. Next up is Rebel Scum versus Corey Cash. Rebel Scum was holding on to an impressive 96.7-point lead at the close of business on Sunday and still had superstar wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown remaining. Corey Cash was going to need a record-setting performance from Devontae Adams to get the victory. It was not to be, however, as Devontae manages a disappointing 2.45 points on Monday night, while St. Brown scores 19.4 and stretches Rebel Scum's win margin to 113 points. Not a lot of bright spots on Corey Cash rosters as QB combo puts up just 34.4 points this week. On the other side, Rebel Scum third-string quarterback Sam Howell got a shot at a starting position this week and made the most of it with a league-high 58.35 points. We asked Rebel Scum owner Eric if this was going to create a QB controversy in the coming weeks, but he declined to comment at this time. We will continue to follow that story as it develops. Final in this one, Rebel Scum 248.98, Corey Cash 135.25. Rebel Scum will face Garbage Time in Week 9, while Corey Cash takes on the Art of Dual Threat. Next match, the Generic Football Team versus Killa MC. This match was a must-win for Randy and the Generic Football Team as rumors of a possible coaching change continue to persist. Team ownership has repeatedly denied these rumors, and owner Randy has continued to defend their coaching staff despite their miserable 1-7 record. Week 8 held no relief for the GFT as Killa MC managed their highest score of the season thanks to another impressive outing from Tua Tagovailoa with 43.7 points. Randy was able to get a great game from a resurgent Joe Burrow who puts up 47.95 points of his own, but the rest of our roster feels a bit flat. Look for a shakeup at the quarterback position as the GFT's third string, Josh Dobbs, has been traded to the Vikings after the Kirk Cousins injury and may get the nod at a starting spot very soon. Randy will need everything he can get if he hopes to claw his way into a playoff position. Killa MC takes home the win in this one, 224.7 to 153.6. Week 9 will see Killa MC battling Sweet Nuts, while the Generic Football Team goes against Stars and Stripes. Next up is Garbage Time versus the Short Bus Superstars. Even hanging on to a 17.6-point lead after Sunday's games, Garbage Time was likely still feeling ill about the loss of quarterback Kirk Cousins, who has been a fantasy powerhouse through the last 2 seasons. Possible trade rumors are picking up as Garbage Time hopes to remain in playoff contention. Despite the injury, Garbage Time does nab a back victory here, 234.8 to 185.4. Inconsistent quarterback play is the issue on the Short Bus side, with Jimmy G putting up just 8.15 points in the loss. The possible return of Deshaun Watson may bring some relief there, if only a little. Next up for Garbage Time is Rebel Scum, while SS will duke it out with My Purdy Team. Our final match in Columbia River this week was Stars and Stripes versus the Art of Dual Threat. In a roller coaster battle, the Art of Dual Threat held on to an 11.05-point lead after Sunday's games and had Jahmyr Gibbs and Jacoby Myers remaining. Sleeper projections had them favored to pull off the victory here, as Stars and Stripes had only Jared Goff and the Lions' defense still to go. Jahmyr Gibbs did his part for the Art of Dual Threat, putting up 36.8 points, but Jacoby Myers was ice cold, managing just 3.25 points of his projected 13.96. Capitalizing on this, Jared Goff and the Lions' defense combined for 57.2 points and helped Stars and Stripes pull off a come-from-behind victory in this one, 251.35 to 245.25. Stars and Stripes will battle the Generic Football Team in Week 9, while Tau DT will take on Corey Cash. That will do it for our Columbia River coverage. Stay tuned for a word from our sponsors, as well as an editorial piece followed by the Outcast League results.
Breakfast! I'm hungry!
No.
Take it from Crinkles. That's me. The best breakfast under the big top is Post Sugar Rice Crinkles. So crinkly, so delicious, so different. Each grain of rice in Sugar Rice Crinkles is crinkled with honey and sugar. It's so good, I crinkle every time I eat it. Yep, no matter what other rice cereal you've ever tried, you'll love Post Sugar Rice Crinkles best of all. Honey and sugar make it different and wonderful. A circus of fun to eat. So you crinkle on down to the store for Post Sugar Rice Crinkles, the greatest cereal treat on earth.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. That's easy for you to say, but I'm in the armpit of nowhere. Yeah, well, I'm meeting some guy who says he has the latest thing in pop music. Yeah, I know, yeah.
It is I, Opsup Eric Nobi. I'm here again this week to find those that refuse to let the Force be their guide. Randall Access Memories left 23 points unscored as Bennett chose to start Josh Reynolds over Rashid Shaheed. The Force was not with Bennett. Had the art of dual threat started Rashad White and Calvin Ridley over Isaiah Pacheco and Jacoby Myers, AJ would have scored a new league record 270.6 points. Instead, AJ embraced the dark side and let his hate destroy him. AJ was not one with the Force. That is it for me this week, Padawans. May the Force be with you.
I'm working overtime because I want to take my family on a nice vacation. Soon they get a call telling them I was killed in an accident. But hey, I'm wearing a busted harness here. And the company should have checked those tanks to the...
There's been an accident! Run, get some help!
There really are no accidents. Thank you to our sponsors once again, and to Opsup Eric Nobi for that engaging commentary. We now move on to the Outcast League, where the weekly contest this week was blackjack, with the player scoring closest to 21 points taking the prize for his team. Mike sweeps both contests this week with Jamar Chase hitting exactly 21 points. Next week will be starting player that records the most receptions. Good luck to all in that one. On to the scores. First up is Mongo Mentality versus Timinators. Timinators held a 13.3 point lead after Sunday and still had one player remaining, while Mongo Mentality had nothing left. In an apparent bid to tank the season, Timinators made the choice to sit Joey Burrow in favor of Jordan Love. But a disappointing performance from Lamar Jackson on the Mongo side made it just about even at the quarterback position. A stellar 27.4 point effort from the aforementioned Gibbs, as well as 29 from A.J. Brown, helped lift the Timinators over Mongo Mentality 147.05 to 106.35. Next up for Timinators is Randall Access Memories. Mongo Mentality will battle the Ball Hawks. Next up is Team Sesh versus the Fantasy Football Team. In another match that was decided on Sunday, Team Sesh grabs a victory, leading by 15.3.5 points with Josh Jacobs remaining, while Team Sesh could do nothing but watch as they were finished scoring. For his part, Jacobs scored another 15.8 points to pile on. The Fantasy Football Team will be searching for help in the coming weeks, though, as quarterback Kirk Cousins will miss the remainder of the season with a torn Achilles. Baker Mayfield and Trevor Lawrence hold the backup slots on that roster, with 7 players scoring 12 points or less, including just 8.05 points from MVP quarterback Pat Mahomes, and a goose egg from Miles Sanders. It was a very down week for Team Sesh. Final score in this one, the Fantasy Football Team, 121.1, Team Sesh, 89.95. TFF will meet up with Rebel Scum in Week 9. Team Sesh hopes for a return to form against Saints for Life. Next, we have Rebel Scum versus Show Me Your Kittles. Plenty of matches decided on Sunday this week. Here is yet another. Despite a great performance from Dak Prescott with 39.1 points, the 18.5 points that Rebel Scum left on the bench this week would still not have been enough, as a mediocre 8.8 point performance from Travis Kelce, as well as sub 5 point performance from the receiving corps, were plenty to submarine the match for Rebel Scum. A 33-point performance from Justin Herbert was good enough here, even with Devontae Adams managing only 1.6 points. Show Me Your Kittles wins this one 125.5 to 102. Show Me Your Kittles will take on Stars and Stripes next week. Rebel Scum matches up with the Fantasy Football Team. Next up is the Ball Hawks versus Stars and Stripes. Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb combined for 73.55 points on Sunday, just under 50% of Stars and Stripes' total score. Another 46 points from Alvin Kamara and Jamar Chase were enough to pull Stars and Stripes past the Ballhawks in Week 8. The Ballhawks starting quarterback Brock Purdy generated just 23.95 points for Rob's squad. Either bench QB would have been the better option, however, neither alone would have been enough, as his optimal lineup still would have fallen short of the points needed for a victory. Stars and Stripes takes the win in this one, 149.65 to 136.25. Stars and Stripes will face Show Me Your Kittles next week. The Ballhawks will square off against Mongo Mentality. In our final match this week, we have Saints for Life versus Randall Access Memories. Saints for Life held the 13-point lead in this one following Sunday's action and still had Amon-Ra St. Brown remaining, while Randall Access Memories was hoping Josh Reynolds and Sam Laporta could close the gap and secure the victory on Monday. St. Brown scored 13.8 points, stretching Saints for Life's lead to 26.8. On the Rams sideline, Sam Laporta did his part with a 15.7-point effort, but Josh Reynolds manages to cost Ram points as he posts a negative 0.2-point score. This would seal the victory for Saints for Life as they walk away here, 110.8 to 101.5. Week 9 action will see Saints for Life taking on Team Sesh. Randall Access Memories will match up with Timinators. That will do it for our Outcast scores this week. Let's head on over to Waiver World.
It's Waiver World. It's Waiver World. It's pickup time. It's excellent. It's Waiver World. It's Waiver World. It's pickup time. It's excellent. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Pickup time. Party time.
All right. Plenty of news this week. Let's take a look. Starting in the Columbia River League, the Art of Dual Threat picked up Cortland Sutton outside the bid period. Stars and Stripes added the Raiders defense and Daniel Jones also outside the bid period. Garbage Time grabbed Bryce Young with a $13 uncontested bid. Corey Cash acquired Will Levis on an $11 bid, beating out one other offer. Rebel Scum outbid three others with a $6 bid to pick up the Browns defense. The Short Bus Superstars bid $5 to get Rashid Shaheed, beating out one other bidder. The Art of Dual Threat grabbed the Saints defense on an uncontested $2 bid, and the Generic Football Team picked up Tyler Boyd and Kyle Pitts on uncontested $1 bids. Over in Outcast, Saints for Life picked up the Kansas City defense. The Ballhawks extended Brandon Ayuk on a 4-year, $65.5 million deal. Stars and Stripes extended Jalen Hurts on a 4-year, $160.5 million deal. Rebel Scum extended Michael Wilson on a 2-year, $7.5 million deal, and added the Cincinnati defense. And finally, Randall Access Memories picked up the Minnesota defense. That is it for Waiver World this week. Let's take a look at those bye weeks. Teams on bye for Week 9 are the Denver Broncos, the Detroit Lions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Santa Clara 49ers. If you have players on those teams, double-check those rosters and make sure that you have suitable replacements. What the heck? That is all for the fantasy football news this week. I thank you again for watching. Have a great week, everybody, except Connor and Casey. As always, the fantasy football news is an Eric Court production, written by Eric, directed by Eric, edited by Eric, and hosted by Eric. Thank you also to the generous sponsors and the viewers like you that make this program possible. Good night, and remember, here at Fantasy Football News, we're better than you.